Monday to Friday, the perfect time to welcome you into the Situation Room as we continue to build the narrative.
Flight of these people, Mr. President, there is nowhere I can say it except here. This is why I'm elected. If I cannot say...
Constant demand for quality leadership from those they voted into office.
Look at us now, there is nothing, we are starving. Tinubu should please...
Analysts, opinion makers, business professionals, and politicians. Super Dial, Mainland, 98.
Between October 2024 and January 2025, more than 265 tragedy had feasted on many human bodies in many Nigerian states in their countless attempts to scoop fuel from overturned tankers. Ask yourself, is it worth the risk? The diesel, kerosene, and gas are highly flammable. One spark and disaster strikes. Ignorance or hardship cannot justify pulling your own life on the line to stay alive a potential explosion. It is better to stay alive for your loved ones live well.
This message is from Mainland 98.3 FM.
Good of all of us, do not allow the opportunity to make things better for us. They make it better for themselves, for their comfort and their families. Cronyism is prevalent. They remove subsidy and we say no. Hunger is increasing, they say so what? Unemployment is a cause, they say yes, we know. Why are the people doing impossible? What it does, it makes poverty and the erosion of just society, corruption. We have assembled here today to bring a new day. For a long suffering, they tolerate for too long. Just because they are long suffering does not mean they should be forced to think. The current government's trademark is to throw empty words, all action at our problem, as if finally nothing is working. Electricity, they lie. If this is the government of, if this is the government's idea of, it is the government of no motion at all. If they want to stand still at the bus stop, not enough that they are stealing from Nigeria, including our grandfathers. They are stealing the port, the treasury, not even leaving some coins.
I was the most demonized person. I was the public enemy #1. And there are two gentlemen, the Speaker of the House of Representatives. At one of such conclaves, former President Goodluck Ebele Jonathan, Borno governor, and Aminu Waziri Tambuwal, the then Speaker of the House of Representatives, had the courage. He mooted the idea at the Federal Executive Council. I admire Mr. Mohammed Bello Adoke fundamentally for his courage and for his convictions and for his capacity to stand for what he believes in. He told the then president that Mr. President, SAN in the cabinet, Kabiru Turaki, who said, I am concurring with the opinion of my senior colleague. That was eternally sealed.
Which no doubt requires extraordinary measures to restore good governance, peace in Rivers State. And the governor and deputy governor of Rivers State, having failed to make a request to the Constitution as amended in Federal Republic of Nigeria, 1905, and I so do. By this declaration, the governor of the state are hereby suspended for an initial period of 6 months. In the meantime, I hereby nominate Vice Admiral of Rivers State. For the avoidance of doubt, this declaration does not affect the judicial arm of Rivers State, which shall continue to function in the court and may be found necessary to do its job, but such declaration has been published in the Federal Gazette, a copy of which has been forwarded to peace and order in Rivers State by Awakening as a whole. Long live a united, peaceful, secured, and democratic.
4 years of the Jonathan administration in a very rare peace cycle. The President, Goodluck Ebele Jonathan GCFR, with whom we have, and Aminu Waziri, you don't have the power to remove an elected councillor. The President was still not convinced. He moved for his convictions and for his capacity to stand for what he believes in. He told the then President for the opinion of another SAN in the cabinet, Kabiru Turaki, who said, I am concurring, and Aminu Waziri Tambuwal became eternally sealed.
Things seem anxious and but there is not. If there were,
In our quest to bring to the table issue-based, welcome you into the situation.
President, this Senate needs to lend its boldness on this floor, sir. I better resign and leave.
As elections
Sɪᴛᴜᴛ should please do something.
it's also important to having a Nigeria and politicians on issues around politics. Put 98.3 FM will welcome you roommates as we discuss the situations.
Things seem other ways, but there's not. If there were,
In our quest to bring to the table issue to welcome you into the Situation Room as we
To lend its voice to the plight of these people. Mr. President, there is nowhere I can say it except here. This is why I'm elected. If I cannot say these things on this floor, sir, I better resign and leave.
as elections.
We are starving. Sɪᴛᴜᴛ should please do something.
It's also important to having a Nigeria of everyone's dream. Join 𝐴̀gbẹ́yẹmí Akínyẹ̀dé as it takes to task seasoned analysts, opinion makers, business professionals, and politicians to super dial mainland 98.3 FM will welcome you roommates as we.
Between October 2024 and January 2025, more than 265 lives have been lost to fuel tanker explosions in Nigeria. Guess what? Twice of that number have perished in the last two fuel from overturned tankers. Ask yourself, is it worth the risk? The diesel, kerosene, and gas are highly flammable. One spark and disaster strikes. Ignorance or hardship cannot justify putting your own life on the line to stay alive. Whenever you see an overturned tanker or people attempting to scoop fuel, flee immediately or alert the relevant authorities to secure the area and prevent a potential explosion. It is better to stay alive, be alive, and live well.
This message is from Mainland 98.3 FM, the sound of Lagos.
What if where everywhere seems a bit blocked at the moment? From wherever you're coming from, whether you're coming from the plans you have on the axis, it's a no-go area as you speak. So until 3 p.m. Well, means in the next 24 hours, Lagosians will go to the polls to choose who. Yesterday, I think we spent about 20 minutes. Myself, it wasn't just a conversation. We were literally begging Lagosians, to the local government. I mean, being on the result, and that's the misconception that people go into elections with. So people choose to stay at home. But I'm begging you, Lagosians, once again, and I'm appealing to you especially that tomorrow is the 12th of July 2020 for the 20 local government and the 37 LCDAs, and there's APC, there's APGA, there's, a friend of mine, about two months, even though the implementation of the local government, if you are not democratically elected to the local government, allocation is not coming to you. There were those things, and for 6 years, 8 years, governors would not conduct local government election. From that source, but Lagos, they say, is the crown that fits the Murokola to Ikorodu to Mushin to say our president physically for 8 years or 4 years, even governors 3 months. What have you used it for? So there's the restriction of movement. So people want to play football and to rethinking cities for being a partner with us in this country. I'm not sure if there are more people around. I played 2 inserts on the show today. 3 actually, but from 2 different people. Subsidy by the administration of former President Goodluck Jonathan. River State, and also announced the suspension of a democratically 6 months. But yesterday, it looks like things are falling apart, are challenged in some encoded messages. And then when the administration of former President Goodluck Jonathan wanted to remove him, do the same. So a lot of people have been asking questions. If he wins the primaries of the leading up to the election, the cracks are getting wider and wider. So you ask yourself, why would a VP challenge the decision of his principal? Or midweek politics would always keep you abreast of everything you need to know about the political situations of Nigeria. We'll run around conversation around politics, policies of government, sensitization and awareness programs around the lost interest in what happens at the local government level, all through the campaign that have happened in the last one. See them at rallies, drums, flags, cap. Let's take a quick break. When we come back, my guest is live in the studio and we'll run through this conversation once again.
Things seems anxious and uncertain. I understand the hardship.
Quest to bring to the table issue-based conversation around to the Situation Room as we continue to build the narrative about public
people. Mr. President, there is nowhere I can say it except here. This is why I'm elected. If I cannot say these things on this floor, sir, I better
into office.
Look at us now, there is nothing. We are starving. Sɪᴛᴜᴜ should please do something.
It's also important to having a Nigeria of everyone's dream. Join Ogbon politics, policies, governance, and leadership every Monday to Friday from Discuss the Situations.
Today, and then we're going to be looking at local government administration in Nigeria. We're going to be looking at connecting the dots out local government and why people have constantly showed some little of local government. Right. Like I said, you have the federal government that you may never get to see your president. You know his house. Even though some of them are local government time, it seems a lot of people have grown, ignore the subnational. How did we get to this point, Mr. Oyebolaji?
First of all, I want to say thank you for having me. Begging people, and that's what we are also doing, begging people to come out and vote. Studying that the last 6 cycles of local government, it seems that it has been about 29% of people the election. And after that, there are registered voters in Lagos. In the last election, I observed the election in my own area and all that, where we have registered voters to my PO over my 5 months. Wherever you see a state or a nation where things, socio-economic status of people, welfare of people keeps to drop every, and the local government is the ones that actually cater for our direct needs, your healthcare, transportation,
market,
government, tier of government. But people are rather good at local government. I think the disconnect for me is very simple. You mind it, you understand? Do you know that you have an input into that they have, where they involve the CDAs in part of the 𝐴 bitterly about the password. That money, that budgetary allocation could be given into the local in the CDC. So the function of local government, our plea first of all is tomorrow.
There are a lot of people that have weddings tomorrow. Like preparation in top gear until they found out this week that there's
a meeting for tomorrow. I said, Oga,
you don't know there's election.
And we at GLDF, what we're trying to do is to bridge that gap to involve how you can reach your councillor, how you can reach your local government chairman. You know what? I mean, we had a stakeholder meeting some time ago. Nobody doesn't even engage them. Nobody asks us questions. The local government. You can ask your local council chair everywhere. They're going from street to street.
They're available.
They're available now. Much. So much. Our cry is right. And keep hoping that people will turn up. I'm praying tomorrow, that people will turn up.
Nice. Yeah. The fact that we're literally worshipped, and I'm not even talking about a local government problem, 1 million eligible voters in Nigeria.
Yeah.
People that have picked up their PVC, winning with less than 9 million votes. We have the second and third combined with 6.1 and 6 that participated in the last election. And we have in a state that has a voter population of almost 7 million.
Local government here, where your radio station is, Oshofé. Yes, I've seen and win a local government election. There's 4,000, the 2023 election, it was abysmal. I think total we had was about 34% or so that we had. Yeah, registered. We have over 7,060,000 people registered for 1 billion. I'm not sure you can
work with data.
Yeah.
What would start to you? I've been privileged. It's the same thing over and over.
No, we're talking about statistics. PwC data is out there. World Bank data is out there. The Boko Haram that you're talking about in the north, it started in the local government. Local government policing is one of the so your high mansion that you feel that you have in Lekki or Banana, put an input into what's happening in your locality. I mean, the gap within presidential state is apathy. Let's look at that. One is, of course, so people don't trust that their votes will even count, first of all. So people don't trust the system. You know that there's local government election. in 2023 elections, I know the number of a bulk of to get us to that number of 93 million, lack of education, the lack of mistrust in the system, the technology. People don't even know how local government election will be administered tomorrow. Some people don't even voter register. People have not seen where you voted in the last election.
I hope it's not been moved. For 𝐶𝐿SA local government was on the show, I think a few weeks ago. It's another merging some polling units together. Few people. Yesterday I went out for lunch. Let's vote on Saturday, and the woman said, 7,000. Labour Party 5 thing. They already figured out who wins. See groups, the Ministry of Information, the orientation. I've seen one big billboard around that thing we need to do in terms of pushing this.
We need to do more. The burden on the electorate themselves. Sometimes this information are not. After having observed the election, rigging has to be filled up. Get the math now. It's only possible when you don't turn up. Now,
so imagine out of those 200, 190 people came out.
Lost the election.
Because people turned up.
Exactly. So people say, I can prove it. We had in the entire Nigeria, people turned up.
Period.
Simple. Drastically. You can't turn 200 to... Everybody's counting, everybody's observing. You count the LUP, all those... that vacuum has to be filled. Only that those sites don't really... You can mark my words, go there and see the association that can win local government. It's as simple as that.
It's on our social media platforms, and this is almost live in the studio with me is Mr. Oyi of lack of engagement at the local government level. So 21 and I brought in Honorable Fuad back to the studio. My colleagues and I were having a conversation around it, and I said, listen, the reason why, because we saw that election, Laguda won that election, and the crazy thing is that they didn't declare the result until around 11 p.m. I remember it was during, I can't remember what competition was, and watched that football match because they were waiting for collision of a by-election till late in the night. It's a problem because on kilometer road, that small bridge that connects one small community to the other, that small community basically responsibilities that you think, the local government should, the fact that the governors literally control the local, have been won by state, by the own few days to the election, when this now suspended governor. Let's go to Abia State. Alex Otti is the governor from Labour Party. It's Labour Party. Even the local government of the governor went to Zenith, the local government went to the PDP, except the local Baba hold his own space. So
it goes to show that our political gladiators understand the power of the local government. The local government, it has finished.
For we that want to vote, that we are the ones that are looking for
the foundation. It has started from the foundation. Do you get it now? And that's why any government, why this local government autonomy or IGR, there's nothing really, except the local government chairman is very now. They brought out a new
one of the local
government. The balance are supposed to be paid by the local government, state government, and they will now collect the money back from the local. So the local government is more or less like a rubber stamp 3. That's when we had the LCDS in Lagos State. It was our current president
that brought it up. Chairmanship candidate that was in the studio. All of them for Youth Party for 𝐶𝐿SA was talking Alimosho, for instance. Alimosho at some point, according to the stats, the Alimosho itself, Mr. Yobolaji, the constitution recognizes only the constitution does not recognize Ibejuleki, Ketu, Mushi reforms itself. It's a cause where elections have been one time as a governor in a state. One person plugged into candidate in Edo State, 𝐴nSwear after the Supreme Court judgment. How important is the issue of trust in the electoral system? See, even if there's a polling unit in front of my house tomorrow, I won't vote. You know why? Because I feel like, if the person did not win an election, how key is the issue of constitution?
The weight of the law in our society.
Sure.
The law is the one that keeps the balance, justice and fairness to all. In many forms, people feel that the court has failed me. Documents are not supposed to be given, are not been given, and the people are the one that takes who they want to be in position. Was really high. How many people turned up for their elections? Gaps in the system. What I'm trying to say is that election. So that's the truth. It still goes back to person now won the election.
How?
Do you get what I'm trying to say now? So electoral reform is also part of it. Using card readers, we're using form. You know what happened to IRED really? This cannot still be hidden. But you can't fight government in a way. Let's be honest with that. You have to be loud. First of all, who told you? They are still campaigning. You ought to be seeing the names of the candidates flying everywhere. There's only one political party that candidates out and force. You have to be loud. Some people are running for local government elections. Your local government starts from your CDA.
Sure.
For now, you don't even have to spend so much money, quote and unquote. And somebody that has the power of the state or power of the
and is maybe even the sitting chairman wants to.
And local government is one of the base elections that important, but yet you can still maneuver around if you have your.
So now we've identified some of these problems, and what I would like you to know, see some of the mess. Maybe when I start reading them, you will also laugh. And it's basically a reflection of how much people don't even care about what happens at home. A big level of control at the local government autonomy. The judgment was flying. I keep telling people is holding 16 local governments in a state electoral commission. Yeah. That's the fact. For last, like a contradiction to democracy, where the House of Assembly performs oversight function for the governor. That's now that the people are, withdrawn from this. How do you prove in, or you think it's basically about awareness? Because this local government election may have touched at least one person to know that there's every Friday to discussing local government election. Do you think the fact that to discourage the people from also getting
even churches and even mosques? Yeah.
And if those people had known,
why
they won't give them the dates.
Exactly. So it goes back to our communities. Even the church, when you go out and make sure that you vote, you are saying it on the pulpit, or you're an imam, you are saying it in the mosque. You are vote. So hearing our pastors talking about it, our men of God, it just shuts down the whole system, which we have seen before during COVID. We saw it. Important governance is
even to the religious centers.
Exactly. No, within and calling this local government chairman to account. Okay, man, nobody is holding them accountable. Nobody knows.
That's even the crazy part. I remember we had that conversation, and I'm going to ask you 2 questions. I'm going to ask you right now.
I think we do.
You don't sound comfortable with that question.
I think we do, and the reason why I'm saying I think we do, I think with the pinch of salt, is because we do be the other side of not getting or believing in democracy. Real pushback for us, particularly for Nigeria. We can't afford that when we are in the nearest future. To get this democracy right now, right as in, if you go back to history, how local governments really started in Lagos State, for instance, Ijoba, it started in community until that's where the British Empire really learned about local government, and they established. It's only in cities like this that you go to dispute office. You don't throw any tier of government away.
Not the local government.
Not the local government. That's accountable. You have the right as a citizen of a local government to ask for the budget
of your local government.
You have a right to do it. If they are not giving it to you, make it public. They're not. I have a friend, that lives. I was on the street 2 weeks ago, Guess what? They're doing the whole street. They are responsible. That's how important local governments are. You understand? And they are
sure.
They can't run. Yeah.
It's basically is the founder and building the engagement. And we found, and we've been deliberate about it, the guests we've been bringing, we've even African Action Congress. We've also brought in council of people and what they intend to do. Just some local governments would start having the result trickling little by little and all of that. Of course, mainland FM will be on this. People coming out to say that, Lagos is controlled. It's party A. But democracy thrives on alternatives.
Yeah.
And making noise and raising shoulders and on the island.
Yeah.
If the heavens spits, everywhere is flooded. Yeah. If rain falls, there's problem in this place because it rained and everyone was flooded. We had to do the interview virtually.
Wow.
So do you also think the whole idea of is one that whether we like it or not, our Lagos State and the chairmanship conversation is a family business, and people always assume that it's the same party.
So the person that's saying that the election is already cast in stone, or a mosque, a community within your, I think you can gather at least 2 things. It is chickeny voting them. But if the people are sitting at home and say, oh, they want you to come out in the front, if they are praying that it will rain, they are praying that it will rain. Now, was not in power before. What are you delivering to the people? That's the first. You know what I'm saying? So it's a question of what are we doing. I know a few years ago, there's a party, I think it was a party that won in Oshodi, Mazamas. They voted for the person, and they voted the incumbent out of the place. So sitting on our oars and saying that they have won the election is a lie. Let us see what will happen.
They don't even want you to come out.
No, they're not leaving any chances to it. I'm observing. I'm going to be on street. I'm going to observe also, and you can't say it's cancelled. So
restriction of movements.
Yeah.
It's a problem, especially with how I want to travel. I have something. How much more do we get on the conversation? So the conversation around franchised for some weird reason. Then the essential workers also who make laws administratively at the local government level for them. But by the virtue of what you do, you don't have these special people into the conversation. To wrap up our interview,
we carry out our vote. I think it has to change. Lagos is the economy.
I'm a doctor. I'm working in Ogun State, and I'm living in Lagos, but I can't go to work because there's an election in Lagos.
Why is it that I cannot get duty? I should be able to vote. That's another thing. Voting election, late election, and you understand, so that people can pace themselves. I personally don't be able to vote. We have many IDs in Nigeria.
There's multiplication of what? Why?
We spend so much billions, trillions of naira while we're doing governance. We need to invent how we are allowing people to vote.
To vote.
I should be able to add my voice into what's happening in my local government. It has to change. I can't remember the second question you asked.
I said, are we ripe for the conversation? Do I need to be a member of a political thing?
Yeah, it's the same. The constitution is the same thing for the people. Am I really concerned about the people, or am I really concerned about
myself?
Well-being.
I won't steal their money.
So the money I'm supposed to get as a local government chairman, I know that a lady that is pregnant needs that money. So ideologies we need to ask ourselves, what is motivating people to run? Come out today based on what they have been doing.
Come on.
People, they don't care if you are the job. Who is the person? People turn up for them. People raise up their hands. So those are the questions we need to ask when it comes to independent candidacy. Politics is about structure. It's about structure. All politics is local. Today, where you see people running from one party to another, it's about structure. It's about people moving. They're moving people.
Global Leadership Development Forum. I don't know what more you need to be told before your government election in Lagos. If you have your PVC, I beg you, easier when there's a change close to you. If you have it performing at this stage as a councillor, let's see if the candidate of that same person can perform if he's an House of Assembly member. So it's on us to make sure. I pick your calls in between. Also read. These messages, okay. Let me run through them. Our imposed on them to reinstate him. Can we have a free and fair election for local? One though. Whoa. Okay, this is Temitope Noto from 𝐈ᴏ community. Kind of mentality some people are having that the vice president would not have to come out in a place to go against constitution, which of course, if care is not taken, may be truncated. Make truncate a hard-end democracy. I believe if you can rise to the condemned, what is wrong when we selection? Let's stop deceiving ourselves. As long as the state INEC through the government, Rahim from 𝐴𝐺𝐺 is talking to us. No election in Lagos. In my area, I can't vote for a party without opposition. This one says, good evening. I hope what happened in Ogun State will not repeat itself tomorrow. Not stock of Lagos State. May God help us. I'm appealing to keep everyone safe. Thank you. Parties, thank you very much. This one says, good evening. The conversation today is basically about citizen awareness and that franchise, irrespective of whatever party win.
Good evening, Mr. Sensitized. What is the meaning of democracy? Government form. No matter the sensitization you give to people, they will not succumb. That is the bottom line. But let me tell you, Mr. Okoyemi, mainly for developmental purposes, so that most of the NCD that are not performing, they should want to come and reach yourself.
Thank you.
Do the needful to the people.
Thank you. Thank you for calling.
Well, your guest, let me. There's a polling station and a polling unit that has 1,000 registered voters. They call them come back. When Jesus Christ comes to me.
Very much, Obi. I'll still pick more calls. I know we're really pressed for time, but when you can see other candidates, where can you see other candidates? This, please.
Okay. Yeah. All this voting exercise you are doing, Because right now what we are doing is all for the people.
True.
But in this whole scheme of things, we demonetize our policy. We are wasting our time. We are going.
I don't mind who becomes the local government chairman in Lagos, either the father and the son, because Lagos already the electoral choices are not respected, votes not properly counted. The all that your guest is said about it right. One more call and we say our goodbyes.
Can you hear me?
I'm with you.
All right. With e-voting, we also need. It's a popular saying around us, right? And again, e-voting. Develop an app whereby people can vote from home and they know. So I think we should start to agitate for this kind of
Thank
people.
you, Mr. Gege Joshua. Mr. Yobolaji Father.
This is my own personal plea to you. Notwithstanding, you need to come out how you can ask the relevant questions for someone that said of governance in our state. And God bless.
Thank you for being my guest on the show today. Next up is Mainland FM Global News. I have to sign one of their leftover players. We'll talk about all of that by 6 o'clock. Stick around.